Wang Yi, as we'll see, will say the law is a worthy institution because it's ordained by God. It's not a worthy institution because of its own interior characteristics. It's a worthy institution because we're told in the scriptures God has ordained it. It's part of God's plan and it can be respected as such and only as such, not because of any aspiration to justice it has. And for that reason, witness always should be made in law. You should never think that there is peace in the law. There is always going to be struggle. There is always going to be an occasion to give witness. Whatever you're doing aspirationally in the law to help someone, you should recognize that there is always the need, always the possibility of showing witness to Christ rather than accepting the interior understanding of the law itself. This is the slide that I've used previously, trying to sum up what is the theological teaching of the early church as it reflects on the history of the persecutions of Christians. Christians don't conceive of law or legal systems simply according to their proper functioning as places of justice. Because if you begin your analysis of legal systems as the church did, where the legal system is persecuting, where the legal system is attacking Christ, attacking the worship of Christ, it's obvious that legal systems aren't always directed to justice. It's obvious that legal systems, in their own desire for power, are going to have trouble ever ceding power to the lordship of Jesus Christ. And now, at the end, it gets a little questioned. Legal systems must be considered at least sometimes, but maybe always. This is the move that Augustine does, is to extend the view of legal systems at a time of persecution to his witness of the systematic injustice of legal systems, the systematic violence of legal systems. He says, at all times, they are places of witness. Here's some language from Wang Yi in his the document he put out to encourage the house churches not to accept registration and obedience to the Chinese government on matters of faith and doctrine. This is from an early section when he's explaining his view of legal systems. He quotes Romans 13 at length and discusses it for a time. You recall Romans 13 is where we're taught by God that the rulers and authorities that we have are not here accidentally nor by the ingenuity of man, but they're an important part of God's providence. They're a regular and important part of God's plan. They're God's servants to us. Here's part of his commentary. Romans 13 means that all authorities that exist in Chinese society, no matter if it is within a family, a social institution, or government, are ultimately originated from God. The only, and he's very emphatic about this, the only legitimate reason why any person should respect and be obedient to the laws, or why any lower level officials, members of institutions, or families should also respect and be obedient to a higher authoritative order, is because these are all God's institutions, his orders, and his delights. But Wang Yi considers maybe there's a natural reason for us to be obedient to the laws, to legal systems. And he rejects that. He rejects it on the positive authority of Romans 13. He says because Romans 13 teaches us that the meaning of these legal systems, that we respect them and obey them because and only because, not because we fear them, not because they're stronger than us, not because of what they offer us. We obey them even though we're under the kingship of Jesus Christ only because we're told that our King has used these people. He has designated them. He has made them his servants. They are part of his plan. That is the only reason. If you do it for any other reason, you're engaged in a grave moral failing, according to this pastor.